Have you ever felt your mind suddenly fill with noise, doubt, or heaviness for no clear reason? Moments like these are not random. They are spiritual battles happening quietly within. Islam gives us a powerful, immediate response that requires no preparation, no special place, only awareness. A short dua, when spoken with understanding, has the ability to shift your inner state instantly. Today, remember something simple that can bring clarity, calm, and protection right when you need it most. Shaytan works quietly, entering the mind when awareness is low and emotions are unstable. He does not force actions, he plants suggestions, making harmful ideas feel normal and temporary pleasures seem harmless. Over time, these suggestions blur moral clarity and weaken self-control. A person may feel sudden negativity, confusion, or restlessness without understanding why. This influence grows stronger when a heart is empty of remembrance and a mind is left unguarded. Shaitan patiently waits for moments of loneliness, exhaustion, or pride, then gently pushes thoughts that pull a person away from purpose and trust in Allah. This influence often feels internal, making harmful ideas seem personal. Shaitan relies on repetition, slowly shaping thinking patterns until behavior follows. When ignored, this leads to spiritual dullness and emotional weight. Recognizing that thoughts are not commands breaks his hold. Awareness weakens his presence and protects the heart through faith, focus, and conscious remembrance. Seeking refuge in Allah is an act of surrender and strength at the same time. It acknowledges human weakness while affirming complete trust in divine protection. When a believer turns to Allah for refuge, they shift reliance away from their own limited control and place it in the care of the one who has power over all unseen forces. This action realigns the heart, reminding it that no influence exists outside the permission of Allah. The meaning goes beyond spoken words. It is a conscious return to safety, like stepping out of a storm into shelter. By seeking refuge, a person renews awareness of Allah's authority and mercy. It creates a spiritual boundary that harmful forces cannot cross. This remembrance sharpens clarity, strengthens intention, and restores inner balance. Refuge in Allah is not escape from reality. It is grounding oneself in truth, stability, and divine support. The dua A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan ir-rajim carries deep spiritual authority. It is a declaration that places Allah above every harmful influence, spoken with humility and awareness. By saying it, a believer verbally separates themselves from negative forces and aligns with divine protection. This phrase is rooted in the Quran and reflects a conscious choice to stand under Allah's care rather than struggle alone. Its words carry centuries of faith, trust, and submission, making it more than a sentence. It is a spiritual stance. Its impact is immediate when spoken with understanding. The heart feels guarded, and the mind regains clarity. This dua interrupts negative cycles and restores inner discipline. It trains the soul to respond with faith instead of impulse. Repeated consistently, it strengthens spiritual reflexes, making remembrance natural during difficulty. The dua becomes a protective habit, shaping a believer's response to challenges with calm reliance on Allah's power and wisdom. The teachings of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ show that Shaytan is not powerful on his own, but reacts to remembrance of Allah. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ explained that when Allah is remembered, Shaytan withdraws, weakened and unable to continue his influence. This shows that spiritual strength is not about force, but awareness and connection with Allah. Shaytan thrives on neglect, not on those who stay mindful. Through the guidance of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, believers learn that simple acts of remembrance create real spiritual change. Words spoken with faith have an unseen effect. Shaytan does not argue or resist, he retreats. This teaching gives confidence to the believer, knowing that protection is accessible at any moment. The Sunnah emphasizes that remembrance is a living shield, not a ritual. Following this guidance builds consistency, certainty, and trust in Allah's ongoing protection. Sincerity gives life to words that might otherwise pass the lips without effect. When the heart is present, remembrance becomes meaningful, not mechanical. Presence means pausing the rush of thoughts and turning inward with honesty. It is the difference between reciting out of habit and speaking with awareness. Calmness allows the heart to absorb what the tongue says, creating alignment between intention and action. This inner stillness opens space for clarity and strengthens the connection with Allah. Speaking with sincerity also builds emotional discipline. A calm state prevents reactions driven by impulse and creates room for wise response. When remembrance is paired with focus, it settles the nervous energy that clouds judgment. The mind slows down, and the heart becomes receptive. This practice trains a person to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Over time, sincerity and calm presence transform remembrance into a source of steady strength, balance, and inner confidence rooted in faith. Moments of anger, anxiety, and intrusive thoughts often arrive suddenly, overwhelming the senses and disrupting judgment. During these times, the mind feels crowded and directionless. Using the DUA in these situations creates a pause between emotion and action. That pause is powerful. It stops emotional escalation and restores self-awareness. Instead of reacting, the believer redirects attention toward Allah, creating space for control and reflection. This response prevents words or actions that later bring regret. Making this practice consistent reshapes emotional habits. Each time the DUA is used in distress, it trains the mind to seek stability instead of chaos. Anxiety loses intensity, and intrusive thoughts lose authority. Over time, the heart learns where safety lies. This approach does not deny emotions. It manages them with faith. Turning to remembrance during difficulty builds resilience and emotional maturity grounded in spiritual consciousness. Remembrance of Allah creates a sense of order within the soul. When the heart remembers its Creator, priorities realign and inner tension eases. The constant noise of worries and distractions fades, replaced by awareness of purpose. This remembrance nurtures a stable inner environment where fear has less room to grow. It strengthens the heart's connection to something constant, allowing peace to emerge even when circumstances remain difficult. Spiritual protection develops naturally through consistent remembrance. It builds an invisible barrier that preserves emotional and mental well-being. The heart becomes less reactive and more grounded. Over time, this practice nurtures trust, patience, and contentment. A person begins to feel supported rather than alone. Through remembrance, faith becomes a living presence, offering reassurance and strength in daily life, and shaping a mindset rooted in calm certainty and reliance on Allah. Remember, turning to Allah with sincerity and presence can protect your mind and heart from negativity. This simple dua is a tool you can use anytime, anywhere, to bring peace and clarity. At Interior Deen, we encourage you to make remembrance a daily habit and feel the difference it creates. Share this video with loved ones, subscribe for more heart-guiding reminders, and comment below with the prayer, "O Allah, protect my heart and mind from all harm.